We are live, and I just need it on record so I don't do it. Could you repeat what you just said, please?
No, I don't want to say it again for the record. Actually,
for the record, or else
I don't want it to be manipulated. I'll remind you. Don't worry.
No, I need to be able to. I need to be able to remember this. I may not. I'm fairly sure that your character is not immune. As it happens, you have made a number of characters immune. You have not, in fact, made your own characters immune. That was kind of the point. Allison is immune. Ari is immune. Henry is immune. Carmel is immune.
Those are the only people that I can think of. That Cody.
Cody is obviously immune. Anyone that is below the age of 18 is immune.
And human, because like appearance-wise, the concept of Ren was that she was the year below everyone else, so she was below 18.
She ain't
now.
But
also, she's a fae. She's not.
Well, she's not. What I'm saying, she appears beneath 18.
She is 18. I'm not talking about people that appear 18. I'm talking about people that are.
Well, we're not gonna know. Like,
you're not.
Some of them could die without us knowing, and that would be the only way we knew.
Yes.
Shani killed somebody that looked like.
And then I would tell you. By the way, they were like 372.
A number of people on that list of like these people are immune. No one's going to kill them. It's like most of those people on those lists is like, I mean, fucking try.
Yeah.
I mean, try with Ari. Just try.
Not even just Ari. Like a bunch of them are just like, I wouldn't want to be the person giving it an attempt.
Oh my God. Margot literally just shows up in an alternate universe because someone has threatened Cody. Like, Margot has not spoken to or thought, like, has not spoken to Brooke Kaufman in, months and months and months, but something happens to Cody, and Margot is just, like, at the door, like...
You said what? Oh my God, I want to do it now. I just want to put Cody in danger just because.
Don't do that.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
Hey! I was on your side.
The monster.
Okay, if you say something that gets Cody endangered,
nothing will befall.
We can't take that risk.
Nothing will befall Cody. I was literally just saying it as a vow of allegiance. That should dissuade any danger seekers. Really,
there's a large difference between can't die, won't die, and won't be put in danger.
Well, that was the deal we all made. We said we would like them to be immune. I'm not talking about Cody. I am talking about Ari and Henry and Carmel and Allison.
I would also like to point out that what immune means is they can't and won't die. It doesn't mean that they will not be horribly disfigured or, experience some kind of mental
every
travesty.
time. We know.
It's really important that I do because I don't think the audience is aware of that distinction.
They are. They know. We remember. Like, we know there are things that can happen that are not technically death.
Yeah.
Case in point.
Right? Hey, case in point. Like,
so many cases in point. Before I run the intro, because I feel like this is enough to go on based on things that are happening in this game, I am going to ask what y'all remember, and then I will do a recap. And
when
blanks. Danny, you are not allowed to recap the next stream. Sam, you are not allowed to recap the next stream because
Phoebe hasn't seen it.
I'm the only one who hasn't seen it. You could just recap it for me. I don't understand why that means you can't.
It wouldn't be fair for me to do it.
See it. But also, I think it is interesting that you haven't, and I unless you would like me, genuinely, specifically like me to.
I mean, I simply had a busy week. I just don't know if it would be helpful for me to have some of that information.
No.
I wish to use this as for their game making purposes, I guess.
Huh?
If it helps you as the fellow person who is in like where you're at in the scene, in the same place where you're at, nothing that happened in there like immediately changes anything that happened during our
Nothing specifically changes anything for any of the characters that are in use presently.
Things aren't what they seem, but we kind of knew that already. It's just like Like I was saying, the first thing I said when I first started watching the stream was like, Shawnee, I'm surprised you let me watch this, because if I were doing like, if I were going like method or whatever, like Margot wouldn't have any idea. Margot has no idea. So what I watched, I know as a player, but I won't know as a character. Like I will not know as a character and will not have been able to ascertain based on what happened in that stream as a character, which is unfortunate, because now I'm looking at it from the outside and I'm like, you doofus. You dumbass. You humongous dumbass.
It's always fun when we just casually say, you dumbass. And like it really does hit.
For Margot Reyes specifically, she has a lot of these moments, and she's had another one.
So let's start with Phoebe. What does Phoebe remember? Just in case because the idea behind this isn't to test memory, it's to know what has got across and what hasn't, so that I know what needs to be filled in.
I don't think Shawnee would test her memory.
No.
So, what I remember just solely from last session, is Lai got to school, texted Tal a little bit back and forth. They both have purchased various skeletal emojis, which is very crucial.
It's very cute.
And then Lai was just kind of bopping about school a little bit. Got a text from Margot being like, hey, things are not good. Allison's down. So then Lai went upstairs. And they had an awkward conversation in which Lai was basically like, hey, kind of weird. We trust and care about psychics so much and treat them like they're so much more important than the rest of us, huh? And Margot said, is it? What do you mean by that? And now they're feeling tense with each other once again. And as Allison started to wake up, Lai was just kind of like, okay, I'll run interference and make sure that like Skylar Moore doesn't come in here and it was the interaction did not go the way that either of them thought it would, because Lai thought that they were kind of on the outs with Margot a little bit based on another conversation they had, but Margot did not think that, but now she does. It's a little messy. It's fine. And then Brooke was there and texted Skylar because she saw him something very passive-aggressive and mean. He was passive-aggressive, mean, and petty back, very, very in keeping with their interactions. And that's kind of that until they were suddenly in a dream world or other world or something or another, where Brooke and Margot were together and happy, and Skylar wasn't in the picture. Brooke is very much alive, and they seemingly have a very happy, healthy, joyful relationship, and it's nice. And they went to school, and Brooke got like a couple little weird feelings, but I would say nothing that is particularly out of the ordinary. Like she had an intrusive thought about Skylar Moore. That's fine. And then later she had a feeling of like, oh, this is bad. I should not be doing this. And then she was like, I guess I should go to my science class. Okay. And then she went to her science class, and her and Margot were super cute. And it was nice. And Brooke said something very mean to Oliver, who is actually alive in this universe. And boy, isn't it fun to have Brooke Kaufman here saying mean things to people who are not our main characters.
Isn't it just? Isn't it just? Brooke's happy in this world, hey?
She is.
She is.
Yeah. She is.
Danny.
Hello.
What do you remember?
Margot woke up in bed next to Brooke Kaufman.
She did.
And then they went to school together. They had a good time. And like it was Margot's been in a relationship with Brooke Kaufman for a couple years now. 2 years? 2 years? Yeah. Ever since like the summer after high school, it turns out. Margot goes to the Kaufman's house for dinner frequently, and they go to Cody's like soccer games and stuff, and it's real cute. Weird. It's weird? It's only weird because something.
Sorry.
Because today Margot was experiencing what may or may not be like. They're like either like early onset hot flashes or like something, but like things keep happening where she's not feeling quite herself. She did tell her girlfriend, Brooke Kaufman, after taking her to class, like, hey, I've got a headache. Like, yeah, you should go to class. And like, then they kissed about it, and then they were sickeningly sweet. And then Margot walked down the hallway to go find the only other magical being she knows, the psychic she was friends with as a kid. Like, hey, what the fuck? Because if something's going wrong, it's probably her. And she talked to her more than once today, and that feels like a good reason like things might be going wrong. Like, coincidentally speaking, like, two things happen. I talked to Allison more than once today, and now things in my life are going wrong. They must be related. Clearly they're related. So she went to say, hey. And then, like, she had this, like, sneaking suspicion she wouldn't have said anything about it had it not been for Allison catching her eye as she was walking and giving a look that insinuated guilt. You know how someone just looks guilty? You know how someone just looks like they know or did something? Like, you ever just...
Like that feeling when you're walking past cops?
Yeah. You ever just turn around and you're like, oh...
Even if you're not, you're like, I didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything.
Like you did.
Like when you go into a store and you happen to have like a backpack or something like that, but you don't want to look like a shoplifter. Like, and you like, yeah. So you're like, I'm going to hold my hands up here so everybody knows that I'm not doing anything like that. This could be a brown people thing. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. So she said that. And then Allison gave her a note that said something about a bird. And then Juan Lee strolled up and, carted Allison off because he, I don't know, needed her for something. And now Margot is standing in a hallway, confused. And her girlfriend presumably is in class and still safe and happy, hopefully. That's what I remember. Yeah.
We're not going to think about the last time that someone thought that their girlfriend was behind them safe and happy and all the things that followed. That's irrelevant. No. That was season 1.
Because Margot did not turn her back on Brooke. Very distinctly, Brooke walked into the classroom, Margot backed away, and they were doing this.
And they did this.
There was no turning around.
Doing that.
And they were very cute.
And they were very cute.
Yes. I'm just providing for
I can hear a hater from another universe in one of my ears.
I was just giving the Nadine version of
let Brooke and Margot have a tiny scrap, just a crumb of happiness for one moment.
No. They get that happiness. So does Allison. It's great. Let's go to the intro.
We're sorry, the number you have reached is not in service. Please check the number or try your call again. This is a recording.
Sam's back first. Then it's me. And it's Danny. And now Phoebe's here.
Huh.
I don't know why it does that. It's fascinating, but I don't know why it does it. I keep trying to change it.
Does anyone else hear a tone of indignance in the GM's voice
There's
for some reason?
Everything is fine.
What's happening?
Everything is fine.
Nobody did anything to anyone.
On Daybreak prep.
Jesus.
Lie. The Unicorn Reaper may have killed. The big guy's investigating. Margot Reyes, the Lycan, and Alison Finley, the Psychic, have something to do with the fact that Lie is alive. Alison's memory has two versions of events, a split, if you will, in vision. A cuckoo has been identified and has been telling Curran Fodringham about their plans and movements. The adults are concerned, the kids are more concerned. Noelle had a meeting with Death, who threatened her daughter. She then had a vision that turned her into a bleeding mess. Raphael moved into town, bought a house, and is creating a cuckoo cage using magic similar to the magic that maintains the security of his family library, the same library that has information about a range of monstrous types. Margot and Alison's relationship is questioned, the safety of it for the greater good, or even Alison's good. Lie realizes their views on how to sacrifice to a cause are very different to Margot's and possibly the entire Reyes family. Alison confesses she doesn't have a concept of reality when she's not close to Margot, and that a cuckoo is only going to make it more difficult for her to be sure what is real. Lie catches up with Tallulah, whose sister is being taken care of by Curran Fodringham. They haven't explained to her in full why she must bring Lie into the fold, but it seems to be important enough for them to pull on the connection she and Lie are reigniting. Ren received the gift of presents from Raphael and restated that she has always been on Alison's side. Margot changed tenses while transcribing the conversation, putting Alison on edge. Brooke turned up at school to Alison's ire. Alison spoke with Raphael, chased down the ghoul, and threatened her. Passing out due to her own vision, Alison woke to the sound of Lie and Margot discussing whether psychics are to be trusted. Alison asked Margot whether she would do what she could to fix things, even if it hurt her to do so, before attempting to show Margot a vision. And then Margot and Brooke woke in bed together, connected and happy. Brooke, human, and Margot, still Lycan, made their way to school and were having a run-of-the-mill day, except for the odd images. BK and Gogo against the world. Gogo sends BK to class, then immediately begins to search for the source of the distortions, which happening again across a staring Alison. The psychic hands Gogo a piece of paper with the word cuckoo on it and says, "You're going to have to do this. I don't think I'm going to remember this." Piece of information there. And then Juan appears, directing the psychic away as the bell tolls. Miss Ennis, meanwhile, hears from his shadowy owner, his original shadowy owner, and is required to lead some figures into his labyrinth. He does so, but he separates them and has a conversation with one of the figures before being jerked back to his owner, who is deeply frustrated. But we're not going to talk about any of that for now, because Carmel.
Hello.
Tell me about your morning.
This morning?
Yeah, this morning.
Been doing a little bit of last minute reading and preparations, I guess you could say. I'm about to go on a trip. So,
Sure.
yeah. It's a hunt, I guess, is what we would probably call it, like officially, or whatever.
Hmm.
We only had a couple days of camp, but I guess you could call it that. Yeah, I'm going on a hunt.
Okay. May I ask to where?
No.
Oh, I may not ask to where. Well, I guess that solves that. Is there do you have a plan?
Yes. My plan is to learn what I can and take that information to the people that need to hear it. I guess is the best that I can say. I'm really focusing more on the information gathering part of it first, and then based on what I find out, I will decide what I do with it, if that makes sense. But I think there's a chance that I could learn something really important.
I guess the question is, where are you going to learn this information?
I'm going to be taking a trip to, well, first of all, I'm going to be taking a trip to vaguely the Gulf of Mexico. Thereabouts.
Okay.
Because it doesn't make any sense to swim all that way. I mean, I could, but it would take a really long time. And I've been to the Caribbean before, so I can, I can just kind of, just like I do into people's houses, or their sinks, rather.
Okay. Into their sinks or houses. Hopefully not toilets.
No, not anymore. Not after that one time. It seemed to really bother some people, so.
Okay. So, quick trip.
Just north of Puerto Rico, actually.
Just north of Puerto Rico. Okay. Are you leaving early? Are you leaving later in the day?
I am going to leave at, I believe, high tide, just so that I can arrive there at low tide locally, latitude-wise. Just to give myself enough time. Yeah.
Okay.
I would prefer not to go where I'm going during high tide. I haven't actually been. I've never actually been to the place that I am going, so I am going to have to swim there at that point. But I don't want to do it while the water's too rough. So I have been watching things for the past couple of days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first part of that sounds easy enough. You have been to the Caribbean, so it's vacation time, I guess.
Yeah. I'm just going to try not to make much of a splash. That's splash. That's our word for it. There's a tendency when we do this into just, I don't know. There was this whole thing with a pilot this one time, and there's things about ships and shipwrecks and natural disasters, and like that's really not something that we go out of our way to, like we don't. It's not something that we do. Like it's, you just have to be careful when you're traveling that way. Yeah.
Okay. Well, give me a sharp roll.
A sharp roll.
Yeah. Let's see how well you travel.
Me and my can of dice. Every time.
Ye old can. If you can open them.
Oh dear. Not bad. Let's see.
You have a +2.
I have a +2. Good. That's an 8.
Okay.
I was just being optimistic.
I see. Okay. You manage that roll. And I'm going to say that you will also What was that roll for?
I just like to roll dice.
That was just fun. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that you manage it just fine. That first part, easy.
Okay.
Not a splash.
Okay.
The next roll I'm going to ask you to make is an act under pressure, which is plus cool.
I'm very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Some people think I am. Oh. Okay. What's my cool score? Let's see.
+1.
+1.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. That is a 12.
Oh. Carmel.
I'm cool as a cucumber.
Cool as a cucumber, sea or otherwise.
That's right.
Okay, so tell me, Carmel, what are you attempting at this point now that you are in the balmy waters of the Caribbean?
Well, there is that we know about. How can I put this lightly? So I'm going to the Bermuda Triangle, but not for the reason that you would think, because people tend to get lost there, is the presumption, I guess.
Yep.
Land folk usually, but people tend to get lost there. I'm not going there to get lost. If you follow the current and you dive down deep enough, there's a different current there. There's a lot of really warm water, and then like at some point you will sort of see a chasm, and then it's very cool, and then beneath that, well, as I understand it, is a doorway of sorts, I guess, into the river Styx. I mean, there's one in Lys' basement, to be fair, but I would have
Is this bitch gonna swim in the river of Styx? It's a real fucking bad idea, but pop off.
Some of us know what we're doing.
Oh. Yeah, look, Sam, no, just remute. Like, it's... Bad ideas should be followed.
There's one in Lys' basement, but Ly and I aren't exactly seeing eye to eye right now, so I'm taking a long way in, and I will see them when I get back, or maybe while I'm there. Who's to say?
Certainly not I. Ooh. How do you feel about Ly at the moment?
It's funny because my instinct is to say angry, but I'm not really angry. I get it. Ly is Ly is exactly what I signed up for. They are who they said they were, basically. So I can't really fault them for that. I just have to do a better job of trying to see things the way that they see them. And if they've got all of this complicated stuff going on in their life right now, then the best thing that I can do for a person that I care about is, like I said, try to see things the way that they do, and maybe try a way that's not my own for once.
I see. And the river Styx is central to that?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to swim down into that current.
Yep.
And it gets colder and colder and colder. It is colder and it is deeper than you have swum before. There are limits to, Selkie pressure tolerance and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it is uncomfortable. If you would still like to try to sneak in, I guess, that's another act under pressure roll.
Okay. What do I have?
+1.
Just a second.
You do have the ability to use luck also.
And I think I will. This is a part of the plan that I really don't want to fail.
What was the roll?
I did prepare for this. With the +1, it was a 6. So
Right. Okay. So we do want to use that luck.
A lot of time preparing for this, so I'd rather not have it blow up in my face almost immediately.
That makes sense. Okay. So you think that it is going to get too cold. You think that the pressure is too strong. And then you happen upon a little pocket of air that allows you to take a breath and readjust for the change in pressure. And then you continue your swim. And it is cold. It is very, very cold. And then all of a sudden, it's almost painful when it suddenly starts to feel warm. And it doesn't get unbearably hot, but it definitely feels warmer than bath water should. Steaming bath water. It's not burning, it's not scalding, but your pelt doesn't enjoy it. You are now in a tributary of the River Styx.
Cool.
The interesting thing about the River Styx is that it really enjoys memories. And it enjoys taking things. You are going to, the longer that you're in here, begin to lose things. Memories, abilities, potentially your pelt. But you could give that. You could give that away. That's a potential as well. You always have your pelt. And the River Styx essentially is taking memories and taking abilities in the kind of exchange that Carmel would, as a deal maker, know about.
I was prepared for this.
You were prepared for this.
Yes.
So,
can't give something without get something without giving something. It's just not how things are done.
That is true. How is Carmel going to deal with this? How are you going to manage this situation as you swim through this?
I'm going to concentrate very specifically on where I'm going. It's not like I'm... It would be counterintuitive for me to think happy thoughts, so I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to instead just look at what's in front of me and try to be very present in the moment. And put everything else to the back of my mind. I'm going to be an observer right now. Not Carmel or the Selkie or anything like that. I'm just a vessel for the thing that I'm doing. And so my theory is, if I don't bring anything to the forefront of my consciousness. I can sort of keep those things that are important for myself.
Okay.
I can just kind of lock them away very, very deeply. And there's nothing for whatever about the sticks decides that it likes to take things and take memories. There's nothing for it to grab onto. At least not at first. And I think I should be protected for a time. But I am going to try to hurry. I don't want to be down here forever. I may have to leave a different way than I came in. But I'll deal with that as we go.
Okay. How are you trying to avoid thinking about particular memories?
I am playing the most boring movie possible in my brain, in my head.
What movie is it?
I guess I shouldn't say boring. I should say I didn't really understand it. And it was kind of a bummer at a certain point. It's called Happy Feet.
Okay. So roll a d6 for me.
Okay. Roll a d6 for Happy Feet, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I dropped that one, so I'm not going to count that. Okay. It's a 3.
It's a 3?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to maintain the memory of Happy Feet.
Great.
You get to keep that. That's yours.
Yay.
You get to remember Happy Feet. What is the... Because I haven't seen Happy Feet. What is the main moral of the story of Happy Feet, please?
Oh, boy. I'm going to have to Wikipedia this real quick.
You can dance if you want to. You can leave
your
your
cares
friend
behind.
behind. But if you don't dance, then you're no friend of mine.
It is, yeah. It's about a... Ooh. According to the Wikipedia, every emperor penguin sings a unique song called a heart song to attract a mate. If one penguin's heart song matches another's heart song, the two penguins mate. And there's Mumble, and I don't think that Mumble can sing, and I think that that's the problem. I think the whole thing is about Mumble not being able to sing. He does end up in a zoo at some point in the middle of the movie, and it is rather dark, mostly because my distinct memory, me, Danielle, of this film, and I've said that Carmel shares this, and actually hasn't seen the second half. I went back into the theater, but I did think it ended with Mumble ending up in the zoo, because there was a blackout at the end of that scene, and then there was more movie, and it was fine. I came back, I heard it happening, and there was more, but I'm gonna say that that's all that Carmel's seen.
Okay. Sort of the experience of me watching Dumbo. I've never seen the end of Dumbo. All I know is that he flew and that was it. I don't know what happens after the moment that he flies.
That's probably for the best. That was pretty fucking sad.
It is.
I've never seen Dumbo, but you just made it sound so ominous.
Oh, you don't want to watch the first third of Dumbo.
I don't say this
Kill
often.
the elephant?
No, they don't. I don't say this often, but actually, hear me out, y'all. I recommend the live action remake of Dumbo.
I mean, I would like to see an elephant fly.
It's less depressing than the Jim Crows and the
the
Dumbo parts of Dumbo. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, here's the thing is, Carmel remembers Happy Feet. She remembers the movie. The moral of the story of Happy Feet is that someone can't sing and therefore can't attract a mate and therefore ends up in a zoo is as far as I have managed to discern.
That's as far as she's seen. So yeah.
And is that as far as she would discern?
What
would she say the moral of the story was based on her understanding?
If you're not like everybody else, you're probably going to end up separated from them at some point.
That's gone.
Okay. This was bait, so that's fine.
Yeah. So that part of it's gone. She may not even realize that part of it's gone. So the concept of being different to other people and that having a consequence is gone.
Okay. Interesting. Hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, nobody ever considers the fact that maybe the River Styx isn't stupid.
It'll be fun.
That the River Styx may or may not be sentient. Nobody ever considers that idea.
I think plenty of us have considered that at this point. In the game that we're playing,
in this game,
would like to think that many of us have considered that lots of things were sentient.
Okay. You continue swimming. Something's changed. You probably recognize something's changed, but you don't know what it is.
Sure.
Doesn't matter right now.
Be the current. That's fine.
Well, I mean, if it were current, you'd know.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
That's the one. That's the one. What's the moral of the story of Finding Nemo?
Depends on your perspective.
It does, doesn't it? What's Carmel's perspective on Finding Nemo?
God damn it.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. What's the moral of the story?
Never stray too far from home.
It's gone.
Gonna have to rewatch the movie. That's fine. That's actually pretty comforting.
That one's good for her. That one's really helpful.
Yeah.
Very far from home. Who needs home?
Exactly.
Who needs a home? Home is what a waste. Who needs family? Anyway.
I didn't say anything about family.
What is home to Carmel? Doesn't matter now. Anyway, we keep going. What is Carmel looking for in here?
It's not what, it's who, more than anything.
Who is Carmel looking for in here?
She is looking for the big guy.
Okay.
She's seen him near the river once or twice, if I remember correctly. So.
Okay. Is she looking to speak with the big guy? As in, is she looking to outwardly find him? Or is she looking to...
No. She wants to know what he thinks about all of this when he's speaking to the people that he trusts the most.
Okay.
She assumes that those people would be down here because why wouldn't they be? It's certainly not anybody up there. Like father, like child.
Okay. Roll. Actually, let me roll. Okay. The River Styx. Could help with this.
Mm-hmm.
But the River Styx would want an exchange, obviously.
What's the exchange?
The exchange is give the Styx your pelt, just to hold on to. Obviously, can't be destroyed. But your task would then be, what's the deepest thought that Carmel's holding on to right now that she's got tucked away back there?
The deepest one. The one she's holding.
What's at the back of the vault?
I would say that would be who she is and like what she stands for.
What does she stand
like
for?
her sense of self is,
what does she stand for?
Autonomy and kindness and following your own path, kind of, I think. Especially given where she's come from and the decisions that she's made. There's a resolve there that I think is important to her.
Okay.
It's the part of her that allows her to be kind of whimsical in the way that she looks at the world.
Yeah. And how long has that been tucked away? Because she's been a bit different.
I mean, how long has it been? What, 2 days? It's been a couple days.
So it's been tucked away.
Time's not passing that quickly.
Yeah.
It's been a few days.
Yeah. And
there's putting it away and then there's sitting it aside.
That's true. She wants to know what the big guy thinks of Lie.
What the big guy thinks about Lie and this situation and the perceived resolution. Like, she's looking for the truth, the unfiltered truth, not, my separation of, person and dad or figure, whatever. Like, this is what I want to do, but this is, I'm struggling, like, et cetera, et cetera. Like, she wants to know what's really most likely to happen. And the hope is that she can find a way to influence it one way or the other.
In exchange for leading her towards the big guy, the River Styx would want 1 drop of Lie's blood.
What? Why? Lie lives here. Just go ask.
The River Styx doesn't have the ability to take Lie's blood itself or to ask Lie. Lie has never been submerged in the River Styx. That wouldn't happen.
It would be bad.
Lie would never do that. That would be awful.
Be a bad decision.
Awful.
Carmel is going to insist rather fastidiously that this doesn't involve Lie and that the Styx can take something from her or let her pass. And she will say that she is open to the sticks holding on to her pelt while she does this, if they will give it back.
I mean, that was part of the deal. That part's non-negotiable. The holding of the pelt is actually part of how Selkies do deals.
I know. She knows.
Yeah. That part, the sticks has some form of like a laugh about.
There's bubbling.
It bubbles. It bubbles around her. In that case, the sticks asks to look through her memories of Lie.
Look through?
Because those are hers.
You may look, but you may not alter or take away.
It agrees.
The River of Sticks sees Lie fucking.
Oh, it's creepy when an uncle sees that.
Oh,
yeah.
No,
Don't love that. Also,
down.
if we remember from their 2-week forced vacation, Lie did not know how to swim and Carmel had to teach them. Why do you think that is? You can't have a child in the underworld who knows how to swim and not think, oh, let me take a dip.
Yeah,
That was an intentional decision.
You know what?
Well, I can't swim because the nearest body of water is the sticks, ladies and gents.
Yeah. But now
Ladies
that
and
they're grown
ladies.
up, it's fine that they know.
Yeah, they know because they know better than to jump in the fucking sticks now. Because who would do that?
The River Styx looks through Carmel's memories of Lie.
Go for it, champ.
All of them. And Carmel can see it flicks past. It's almost like a Rolodex. It's like flicking through, taking a read. So every instance of Carmel being in Lie's presence or looking at Lie or listening to Lie or being around Lie, it flicks through those. It pauses a little bit on some of them. It doesn't change. It doesn't remove. It is simply looking through. And then it halts on a recent one.
Which one?
And it listens to the entire conversation that Margot and Lie had at the forest.
Neat. Neat!
A drop of Lie's blood would kind of have been easier, wouldn't it? Hey.
Hey, I didn't know she was in there, goddammit. Like,
we did establish that she was there.
We made jokes about her being there. They were jokes.
They weren't jokes.
They were jokes.
They weren't jokes.
For me, they were goofums. That
Be careful with goofums in the Fae.
You ever just fuck up so tremendously?
No, but I know people who do.
Cool.
Oops. Sorry. That was a bit harsh, wasn't it?
Neato.
And then it starts to push Carmel. The current helps.
She floats off, peltless.
Well, she doesn't need to anymore. She can keep her pelt. The deal was changed. You only keep the pelt until the task is complete.
I thought the task was doing what she meant to do.
No. The task is only on. It's basically like, here. This is how I know you're coming back.
Exactly.
I'm going to hold on to your pelt until you come back.
Exactly.
She's done what the sticks asked her to do, so she keeps the pelt. It's a promissory note.
You can hold it for collateral if you'd like.
Unnecessary is the response.
Suit yourself.
I am going to... So, obviously, Carmel does not want to be heard.
Nope.
Roll another act under pressure.
Oh, boy. Was she counting on that +1 to help her through all of this? Yes.
Which +1?
The +1 that you get when somebody else has your pelt.
I see.
It's called keep away.
I mean,
Also, it would have been nice to have a +1 string on the river sticks, which was another potential caveat. A weird one, but a potential caveat. Under pressure. That's +1.
+1 for rolling cool.
Oh, it's cool. Okay, yeah, no, that's an 11.
Okay, good. Now I'm going to ask you to roll... The big guy isn't necessarily sitting... I mean, look, Sam, I mentioned bad ideas and I was going to allow it. I am going to ask you to roll sharp. Danny?
Yes? Me?
Oh, sharp, please. Yes, you.
I thought the big guy. My bad.
Sorry, I started a sentence and then realized.
You said sharp? 11.
11. Oh, very nice. Okay. Okay, so you don't find the big guy, but you may find it may go one better. What you find, or what you're led to, the big guy is just sort of walking off. But what you do come across is water cooler chat, essentially.
Good. That'll work.
It will. And what you hear, Carmel, is one person, underworld creature, something. And if you peek up, you can see. I'm assuming you're trying to stay hidden.
Yes.
One person says, auditing. That doesn't make any sense. Another says, his son. I taught them to read. They wouldn't kill, would they? They can't. That's reaping. Another one says, why would Death be so afraid if he couldn't have killed? Another says, so maybe the kid's not going to be the next. Another says, rumors said they might be, but guess he's going to have to find someone else. He's getting tired, though. We know it. Daughter? A shame. I've been here too long. If what you say is true, I shouldn't even be here, is another voice. And another one says, you're no better than the rest of us. And that's that's interwoven conversation. All of them are kind of talking at the same time, but that's what she picks.
Neat. She makes notes.
She takes notes, yep. that will go nowhere if she writes them in sand. Will be there for eternity.
For eternity.
Mm-hmm. What does she want to do with any of this information?
Well,
or what does she want to do now, having heard some of these things?
She wants to hear more.
She wants to hear more? Roll again. Mm-hmm. Who does she want to hear from? What does she want to hear from?
She's still hoping to hear from the big guy himself. But she will accept anything else that happens to be about Lie.
Well,
and this next one, tired thing. Okay. What am I rolling again? Sharp?
Yep.
It is 11 again, believe it or not.
Ooh, I do believe it. She will wait. She will need to. And the River Styx will say, I could let them know. You could have a chat with them if you'd like.
I would like to use often overlooked.
What does that do?
When you act all crazy to avoid something, roll plus weird. On a plus 10, you're regarding as unthreatening and unimportant. On a 7 to 9, pick one unthreatening or unimportant. On a miss, you draw lots, but not all of the attention.
Go ahead. Let's see what happens. Draw the attention. It'd make my day. It'd be great. So fun.
No. I shan't be doing that.
Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. You made my day?
There's no fucking way. Oh my.
It's either awful or another luck or an 11. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's 6.
You sticking with that 6?
I don't have a choice.
What do you mean you don't have a choice? You have 10 luck points.
A whole 10 luck points?
Oh,
it's not 10, babe.
9.
It's 5.
A whole 5. Oh, 4 left. A whole 4.
And the further you get towards the right, the worse things get for you.
Sorry, it's 6 actually. It's 6, not 5. But still,
5 left.
There's 5 remaining.
Okay to doomed.
Nothing happens until you hit at least halfway.
So 3 is what you're saying.
I mean, you've got one. You've used one now. What are you going to use the rest of them for? Do you actually expect to make it out if you're alive?
Alive is a relative state of being, I think.
It is, yeah.
And if I listen to my paramour, it doesn't really matter all that much, does it?
No, it doesn't. So you may as well spend the luck. I feel like you've just made my argument for me.
Sure, why not? Fuck it.
Fuck.
I would like to be extraordinarily lucky. Since that's what we're all relying on here.
What a punk. Okay. So, with that 10, you are unthreatening and unimportant. Gonna just climb out of the water?
No.
Oh.
Well, you have to do the silly thing.
What are you acting all crazy about?
I honestly think she.
And what are you trying to avoid?
I honestly think she would just start talking nonsense so that the River Styx would leave her alone. Because River Styx keeps coming back and asking her for things. Like, in exchange for this, she doesn't want to make any more deals with it. So,
so what you're saying is she just spent luck to make the traveling salesman go away?
Yes!
Is that what just happened?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. I already have it. I bought it last week.
And that's exactly what she says. No, thank you. She goes through every salesperson, Jehovah's Witness excuse that she can think of in a row. No, thank you. I'm actually a vegan. I think that maybe if everything is what it is, then maybe it wouldn't be what it isn't. And I just replaced my vacuum cleaner filter not too very long ago, and I want to thank you for your time. And I do wonder about the time of day, but I think I might be late for something. And well, late, great, even more. Fate?
The temperature of the River Styx remains constant, but the attempt to take her memories is gone.
Hey.
That's what you get for a luck point, see? Spend the luck. Spend the luck, punk. Spend it.
Yeah, the consequences are later. It's fine.
Consequences are for future Carmel, right?
Look, here comes a consequences from actions chasing me right now.
Exactly. Not chasing you right now, chasing you later. We delayed it. So she sits in this balmy water, kind of like a spa, really, listening and waiting.
Vibes.
Until the big guy gets home. And looks at the... could you... When you rolled an act under pressure, you gave me a... Did I get you to roll that, or did you use a move? You used a move.
No, I got an 11.
You got an 11.
Under pressure, yeah.
All good. The big guy says... It would be better if you all would stop talking behind my back. And there's a response, we'd stop talking if you'd start talking. And he says, so far, I have found nothing that would suggest anything is wrong with Lie. And they say, or one of them pipes up and says, it seems strange that you would even have something like this come up. Losing your touch. No, not losing my touch. Getting tired. No. You're well past your time. This isn't an interview. Well, maybe it should be. You were going to pass on to Lie, and now your lieutenant has faults. I don't know that. You don't know that. Stop saying that. You can't be both. You have to be one. Which is it? And there is a long, long pause. And the same voice says, well? And the big guy says, if I have to make that call, that is the end. Of you? Perhaps. You don't have... No, I don't have. Then what happens? I don't know. Maybe we find out. That's not how it works. Maybe it is how it should work. Do you want to keep listening?
Carmel leaves.
She leaves. Okay.
Feels like a very like zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Turn tail and go. Yeah.
And run. Why is Carmel leaving?
She's troubled by the implications.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like, long story short, like, she doesn't want to hear any more of this. Like, this is not the kind of existential horror she really showed up for.
Okay.
And also, she, at least in part, was and is doing this so that she can shove her findings in Ly's face. And this is not going to help her case of things. This is not not the conclusion she'd hoped that she would find and come to. So,
what was she looking for?
Pretty much the opposite. Like I said, anything that she could use to sort of like influence like things one way or the other. And it's not that she didn't necessarily find that, but that last bit is a little bit distracting for her. The stakes are a little bit higher than she thought they were, basically.
Okay. So.
Also, he didn't answer the way she thought he was going to.
What did she expect?
She expected him to go, "I am death."
As opposed to...
Well, guys,
Did we say abdicate?
well, guys, I guess we had a good run. I think I might be hitting the old dusty trail not too long from now.
What is she thinking about as she leaves?
Lie.
Because she's distracted now. It's a long way.
It's okay.
What is she thinking about, Lie?
What Lie would do in that scenario, how much like their father Lie is, like if they are or not, wondering really, like what would Lie have said in that position if she could see Lie in that position, if Lie would want to be in that position. Really just about the big guy, the little guy being the big guy.
Yeah.
And what the world would look like if that were the case.
What I'm going to say, what I'm going to do is read Carmel's. In fact, you read Carmel's darkest self for me.
Sure. I can do that. Darkest self. People have mistreated you and made you an outcast here. It's time to show them how it feels to be lost at sea, to be apart from the things that you have loved, to have parts of yourself stolen from you. You will flood the earth. So you will flood the earth. You will destroy what they cherish, and you will take their pelts. You escaped your darkest self when this place reminds you of home, or when you recognize what you came here for.
Do you think Carmel's still in her darkest self?
I think somewhere deep down, even though it's not conscious, she has recognized what she came here for. And so there is a release of the condition mechanically, if that makes sense. Can't tell you why, but
I think it's that last bit. I think she's recognized what she came here for.
That's what I mean. It's like I can't explain it, but that's she's something clicks.
Yeah. Okay. Roll act under pressure. And I'm going to ask you to roll it 3 times.
3 times, okay. Act under pressure is plus what now? Sorry. Hot, cold?
Cool.
Cool, okay. So that's an 8. A 5. And a 10.
Okay. Does Carmel intend to tell Ly any of what she heard?
Yes.
What I'm going to say is the river doesn't take any of the memories, but what it does take is some of the insight. She hasn't, what it takes from her is the consideration that Ly might find this distressing. It is just information.
Okay.
Gee, it's cold down there when you get out of the sticks.
It sucks.
You almost kind of want to be back in there.
Swim away.
Swim away. You get the impression that the river Styx kind of liked you. You can come back anytime.
Neato.
Thanks,
Stixy.
Stixy holds old Sticky.
Ew.
The old sticky friend. We shall return to that, but I think we should take a break first.
Let's do it.
And then we will be back.
Wellington, do you want some food?